Hi friends, so I thought it'd be a good time to give you an update on the old running and my dream to run a 100-mile ultramarathon one day, considering that I am totally terrible runner now and I'm not even really able to run at the moment. So long story short, I've done a couple of half marathons a couple of years ago. They were mindset exercises and it was absolute agony. I've never been a good runner at all, but I've always been super sporty. Found out about 5 months ago that I'd got a leg imbalance that had caused me to have a flat right foot, a high arch left foot, and my right leg, which is the longer one, is basically bent in at the knee to compensate for the difference. So my Achilles, calf muscle, all the way up that leg basically is out of kilter, which explained why I was always getting so much pain from running, which I just thought was me getting injured, but it turns out that it's always been explainable. So sort of finding that out was quite good in a way. And then the podiatrist prescribed me some orthotic insoles to kind of level up the feet and therefore level up to all the way up to the hips and sort of try and make things right. And it would mean that then I needed to make the muscles strong in the new positions because they've been so used, I'm 51, so they've been probably maybe since puberty, I don't know, but always, at least since then, out of line. So, yeah, I had some laser treatment as well to get rid of the stress tissue, whatever it's called, around the Achilles, calf, knee, in the right leg. So did all that, got the orthotics, and then had to slowly wear them in and do rehab exercises on the leg, which I did. And then the podiatrist said, okay, you can start running now. And then, so it's like 26th of July, which is a month ago, basically, I did my first, no, that's not true, 23rd of July, so it's exactly a month ago today, I did my first run and did basically a 15-minute run, which is a jog walk for me because I'm so bad at running anyway. And yeah, it went really well. Like really mild bit of calf soreness that first day, so then I left it a good while, and then I did a 2-mile jog walk a few days later and no pain at all. Now the significance of this is great because I don't believe I've ever run pain-free, certainly not since I was like a little child. So I've always felt pain in the legs, but I thought everyone always felt pain in the legs like that. And when I did specifically the second of those runs, I actually got really emotional because I suddenly thought things like, oh, the reason I've always hated running and not been any good at running, but good at other sports, is because of this. And I also started to see that maybe the 100-miler was back on and that I could start training towards it and all these sorts of things, which like really, really overwhelmed me, like with positive emotion. And so then I just carried on running and was really keeping an eye on things and everything going really well. And then on the 8th of August, so 15 days ago, I ran 4 miles, bearing in mind I'm still jog walking. So I'm actually running slow and I'm using zone 2 training, which means I'm keeping my heart rate below about 125, 120 maybe, and jog walking most of the time. So it's like super slow, keeping my eye on any pain. Now that day I ran absolutely fine and I'd played golf. Did I have a buggy? Yeah, I used a buggy, right? Okay. That was one of the really hot days, so I ran really late in the evening. No pain. Next day, mild pain. And then since then, so 2 weeks now, I've had very mild pain in my right knee, just on the outside of my right knee, such that I won't put anything on it again. So since all this, I've been like super sensitive to any pain and being super disciplined to not put anything load bearing on it. So I was just like, no, I'm not going to do anything. Left it a few days. It just didn't get better, but it's not mega painful. So just bear in mind that it's not really bad, but I just don't want to do walking or running on it while it's like this. And it just didn't go away. So on Friday night, which is like 5 days ago, I decided I needed to get more opinions on what's going on. Basically, I finished with the consultant podiatrist. He signed me off, kind of like done everything he can, I guess. And I thought, right, I'll go and see a sports physio and a chiropractor just to see if there's anything else to be found, and whether it's just hangover from changing my leg position. And so yesterday I went to see a chiropractor, and he found a few things going on top of that in my hips, pelvis, and in my back, mostly bone stuff. So I think it was called introverted pelvis, which is causing me to be tipped forward too much in my back, and then some things in some of the vertebrae in my back that weren't like major problems, but they were causing me to overprotect in other areas. And it was just like, oh my God. So I had to go back again today as part of the same consultation. So it didn't cost me any extra, but just to sort of really go through all this. And he's given me a proposal plan to kind of sort that out. But basically, there's some muscles in my back that are rock solid and should be like spongy and flexible and mobile, and they're not. They actually felt like bone when he was pressing into them, to me and to him. And it's supposed to be soft and squidgy, so he was like pressing into my glute in my butt cheek and was like, feel how soft that is. It's supposed to be like this in your back, and it was like mid to lower back, just to the sides of the spine. It was like, it's supposed to be the same here, and it is rock solid, so that needs sorting out. Hip flexors, particularly on the right leg, totally solid, no flexibility. And then we did this really cool thing where I was basically standing with my eyes closed, arms out straight in front of me, and marching on my feet, so high knee raising. And it was supposed to be for a minute, just on the spot. And within 30 seconds, I turned nearly 180 degrees without realizing it. And he was like, really surprised in the difference in drive in my right knee as I was doing it. So I thought I was doing the same drive all the time, but he was like, sometimes it was hardly any, sometimes it was quite high. And, you know, he wanted me to go for a minute, and within half a minute, I had turned almost a whole 180 degrees without realizing it. So I opened my eyes and I was like facing completely the wrong direction, a bit of a shock to the system. So, and he's like, so when you're running, you're fighting that all the time. That hip flexor's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. There's the back issue. And basically, he came up with a kind of 12-session proposal to try and fix all those issues with, mobility plan, strength plan, maybe acupuncture if I want it. And just to work on all those sorts of things. And, basically my question was, why is my knee hurting? And he was like, yeah, it's that the strength is not back to what it needs to be in that particular leg, especially lower leg, round the ankle and the Achilles, to withstand the training. So it needs to be made stronger. But there's no issue in the knee. There's the issue of the leg imbalance, but that's hopefully covered by the orthotic insoles, and it just needs to be made stronger in that area. So we recommend getting a wobble cushion, which I've seen, and basically it's, like a 12-inch wide inflated disc, basically, that you stand on and balance on, and it just builds up strength and mobility around the ankle. I mean, there's loads of other exercises you can do with them as well. And, I was like, if I didn't take up your proposal, what else would you recommend? He was like, definitely get that. That's really important. And also to do, I think it was like a yoga thing called cat to camel, I think. I just need to check that, which is basically getting that back, opening up the chest, because I'm very concave from like mid-spine up through the shoulders and up through my head. So that's always been really obvious to me, is that even you can see here that my head is ahead of my shoulders. You know, there's no straightness there. I've always been told that I hunch over, even when I was a little kid. And now we know why. That's the hip thing, not the Achilles thing. Now, I've also got an appointment to see a more sports physiotherapist on Thursday, so it's Tuesday today. Yeah, I'm like interested to see what he says, because a lot of that today with the chiropractor was like kind of bone related, and I'm not sure if I need that level of care around those sorts of things, although there was like some things with the vertebrae that I'm sure they will help me with, but I'm not sure if I want to be going out and spending another 4-figure sum on that just now, and whether that's really what I was looking for. I'm looking for to get training again. So like, and then he was completely honest about it. He was like, you know, they're really going to make a difference, like having these chiropractic sessions, but to get running again, build that lower leg up, and you know, maybe I can get the hip flexor exercises and the back exercises sorted without having to spend 4 figures. I don't know. I'm interested to see what the sports therapist said. So yeah, Kenilworth Half Marathon is in like 19 days. It doesn't look likely that I will do that, although I'm slightly buoyed by the fact that there's no major problem in the knee. It is just a response to excess stress on it, which means that if I did do the half marathon and got through it and experienced a lot of pain, that it would be a short-term injury, maybe. Interested to see what the sports therapist says. So I haven't completely written it off, and I'm going on holiday next week, and there's a gym there, and I would like to use that opportunity to kind of like test it out and see what I can do. So I might just see what the sports therapist says. I'm hoping he like gives me some sort of massage, sports physio, sorry, some sort of massage to release some of the pain quickly, and maybe gives me something before the run. So I've got a week's holiday, then another week before the half marathon, and maybe he could like I'm really clutching at straws here, but maybe he could like really help me prepare for that so that I have minimal pain and could have a go at it. So like, I'm not writing it off, but maybe it is a write-off, and you know, I can handle that. And I've looked, there's I think rugby half marathon at the end of October, so that'd be like another month away, so maybe I could be ready for that. But yeah, I'm kind of, it's been funny because when I did those runs, I was like so overwhelmed with positive emotion. Like I shed tears while I was running, like, oh wow, all this that I've always been through and hated running maybe is solved. And maybe being able to have the body that can do a 100-mile ultra is back, possible, after thinking it wasn't. And then it kind of went backwards, saw the chiro, and he started saying all these things about my spine and my pelvis and my hips, and you know, it being skeletal, and I was like, oh my god, maybe it's not on again. And then he kind of like made me feel that it would be, but I could work on it. So I'm kind of like, yeah, the 100-mile is back on. Is the half marathon back on in 19 days or whatever it was? I don't know. You know, obviously I'm going to be super slow anyway. I'm just a super slow runner at the moment. My fitness is terrible. So here's another thing that's come to pass, or come to my notice, is that I knew my aerobic fitness was terrible. So I've been using Zone 2 training to try and get build that back up. But obviously with the running out the window and my knee hurting, I haven't been able to use the exercise bike even, and the rower wasn't comfortable, so I just haven't been able to work on my cardio either. But I actually was playing some basketball and tennis with my son outside, and I was getting really out of breath really quickly just doing that in short spurts as well. So maybe my anaerobic fitness has gone really quickly. I mean, I'm 51. It's 12 years since I was competing in taekwondo competitions, and that's like in, out, fighting, short rounds, short burst, and I didn't struggle with fitness then, but you know, it's a slight 11, 12 years ago. I haven't really done much since then other than teaching martial arts, and like, I used to be really active, especially in the kids sessions, but maybe that's just totally gone as well, which and like that, it doesn't worry me, but it focuses me on what needs to be done. I need to get training again. Probably when we get back from holiday, I will join a local gym so that I can swim. If, you know, I need to find ways of training that isn't going to impact my legs so much while I build that back up. Swim, elliptical, cross trainers, so that I'm able to get good cardio in. Strength training I can kind of do at home, but if I joined the gym, I would do that there, because once you're there, you get it done. But yeah, that was a little catch up. I'll make another video when I've seen the sports physio on Thursday, because I'm actually quite excited about seeing him, seeing some of his YouTube stuff and Instagram stuff, and looks quite promising that he will really focus on helping me get ready for like races and stuff, ready to do events and stuff like that. So yeah, some negative things came with the car, some negative things going on again. I can handle that. I can handle feeling those emotions. Some positive things as well. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for listening. Give us a like, subscribe, whatever, and you know, any questions, let me know. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening.